Hi there, my name is Victoria Anderson and I'm here to do another edition of Try Takeout with you. We're going to use some electrical skills and a little bit of woodworking to build a nightlight. So we are going to start by assembling our base. So you're going to grab the square piece that has the holes in it. This is the bottom and the base of your nightlight. And then these thinner pieces that are going to become the side of that base. So using the tongue and groove system, you're going to first dry fit these pieces into the base just to make sure that they all fit properly. So you'll just kind of line them all up with the holes and you can kind of just make sure that they're all fitting. And once you do that, then you're going to apply a little bit of glue to the exposed pieces of wood in between those holes there, so that then when you go to actually put the pieces in, they'll fit nicely together and you'll end up with a finished product like this. Okay, so now we are going to insert the switch into the side piece of the nightlight that, as you can see, has a hole for the switch there. So you're just going to feed the wires through that opening and push the switch all the way through. And then it should just have a nice, snug fit. So now that we have the switch in place in one of our side panels, we are ready to assemble the frame of the rest of the nightlight. So using that same system, you're going to just slot all of the pieces into the top of your nightlight and just make sure that you have the piece with your lovely design at the front and then the piece with your switch on one of your sides. And you'll just be slotting them together onto that top. And if you need to, you can use a little bit of a hammer just to kind of get those pieces nice and secure in there. And once you've locked it all together, you'll end up with a finished product like this. And as you can see, some of the pieces have not quite fully slotted together, so that's when you can use a little bit more glue. And just in those pieces that are not quite sticking together, and just put a little bit and squeeze those pieces together for a few seconds. And then it will make sure that everything is locked in nice and tight. So now that we have our frames securely in place and glued, we're going to build our electrical circuit. So all of the wires that we have here, I had to strip just a little bit off of the end using these wire strippers. So the wires that are connected to your battery connector use that tiniest little hole at the very end. It's a 0.8. And for the wires that are coming out of your switch, you're going to want to use that 1.6, just to strip a little bit more off of the end of all of your wires. So our first red positive wire is coming out of our switch and gets connected to the light socket, where you see that minus sign there. And then on the other side of the socket where you see that plus sign, we have the red wire that is going to our battery connector. And then the black wire that comes from our battery connector goes to your connector here that looks like a little white plastic piece. So you're going to have to use a mini screwdriver just to secure the screws that are inside that connector, and they keep those black wires securely in place. And from the other side of that connector, you will have the last black wire that goes to your switch, completing the circuit. If you've done everything right, then when you flip your switch, you'll have light. So your final step is to secure all of the pieces of your circuit to the base of your nightlight using the foam tape. So I've pre-cut the pieces here already. You're going to have one nice big chunk for your battery, two thinner pieces for the underside of your socket, and then one thin piece to attach that connector. And now that all of our circuit pieces are secured to our base, we're just going to add the frame right on top of our base and making sure that all of those wires are tucked in nicely. flip your switch, and you've got a nightlight.